Welcome to the I'm Healing podcast. I'm your host and healer, Iris L. Mendez, and this is a bonus Earth Day episode. Let's heal. So, welcome and happy Earth Day. I am excited for this super special episode today with a special guest, and this is actually one of my first guest appearances on the I'm Healing podcast. So welcome, John Ortiz. Thank you for being here. How are you doing today?
Thank you for having me. I'm doing well today. It's been a marvelous morning. It was a fabulous night, and it kind of all ties together. It is an honor to be here with you on this morning.
Awesome. I'm glad that you can be here today. So, especially on Earth Day. So, what does Earth Day mean to you? Let's
Earth
get right
Day,
started.
yeah. So Earth Day to me just means it's kind of all of our birthdays. It's kind of everything's birthday. It's everything's time to really just give an appreciation to how things are set, and not just for the individual, but for the collective whole. So it's like our birthday, all of us. That's what I feel.
I really like that insight on that, or that perspective. I hadn't thought about it that way. I actually
Yeah,
did some research about, Earth Day and when it started. And Earth
yes,
Day actually was something that wasn't even celebrated before the 70s, which is kind of interesting to think about because the 70s is really not that long ago. So
right.
to think that we have only been honoring the earth since the 70s on an actual day, it's kind of disheartening, but also exciting because we
Yeah,
all get to take part in whatever it is that we need to do for environmental protection, whether it's, recycling today if you haven't recycled in the past, or if you know, run the water a little bit less when you're brushing your teeth or when you're cooking or
mhm.
showering.
Mindfulness, absolutely. Yeah,
Right. What are the little small things that we can do to protect our earth? And also think about the earth in the sense of the elements and how we can use elements to really help heal ourselves physically and emotionally with air. I know for me, I tend to be a water type of person, so I tend to gravitate towards the beaches and waterfalls.
great.
So I tend to go to these places when I feel that my soul needs it, my body needs it, or my heart needs it. So what is your go-to element? How do you use the elements to heal?
The elements to heal. I love that. I love that so much. I'm with you with the water. I mean, zodiac. I'm a Pisces, birthday in March. So water has always been a thing for me. I love to swim. Love to get out there. And honestly, I've really developed an appreciation for just, on the beach and just outside of water, being so close to it. Being that I live in San Diego, California, I'm close to a lot of the beaches, and where I've been, where I'm parked right now, I'm actually really close to the water, and it's a perfect like mindset as I'm going through. So definitely being around water, definitely one of the resources I use to heal. And then the breath, just mindful, conscious breathing, at least a couple minutes a day. That allows me to really reset and, use the elements going forward from there. But
Right.
yeah, water's a top one for me.
Yeah, so it puts you back in line with, your water within you, because we're all made up water ourselves, when we think about the elements. And
Yep,
you're
yep.
just thinking about the five elements: space, air, fire, water, and earth, just incorporating them in our day to day to help heal. So I'm not sure if you follow any Ayurvedic practices, which is a sister science of yoga, but I do follow Angela Perger, Simple Ayurveda. She has a wonderful membership site.
Awesome.
She's got a podcast as well, in addition to lots of information on her Instagram.
Hmm.
And she often talks about using the elements to help offset any imbalances and elements in ourselves. So, for example, when we think about the three energy models within Ayurvedic practices, like Pitta is one of the doshas,
Right.
if you're which tends to be a little bit fiery. So if you feel like you're a little bit fiery, maybe too anxious, how do you combat that in your body? And so she would recommend something as simple as eating a cucumber because it has cooling effects to help balance and offset the fire inside. So really thinking about elements in that way to heal ourselves. If we feel we're a little bit too airy inside, which can cause gas,
Yeah.
build up, maybe not going outside on a windy day without our ears, with our ears uncovered and using old school earmuffs. So really just tuning into the self, grounding down to earth beneath us and using the elements to help heal our bodies. And so I wanted to talk a little bit about that today because I do have a workshop this evening with Hike and Heal, and
Awesome.
the host of Hike and Heal. It is ladies only. Sorry, John.
Oh,
The host of Hike and Heal offers healing hours, which is a healing circle led by Brandy Nicole.
that's beautiful.
Um, and so, as a healing host, Brandy curates her own healing work for women's wellness based on her own vision and interests. So today we're doing a Hike and Heal
Mm,
healing hour. That's at 5:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to 6:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And you can see the link in my bio on my Instagram, which is ILM_healing to sign up for that. It's
lovely.
not too late for that. And while we're on the topic of workshops,
Yeah.
I am super excited because John and I have collaborated.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we're collaborating with you on this podcast, and we have a workshop coming up
I'm
on
coming up.
Sunday.
Yeah.
So, John, tell me a little bit about who you are, what you do, and
Yeah.
then we can talk about our workshop.
Yeah. So for me, my name is John Ortiz. I'm also I'm a brother of Lambda Sigma Upsilon Latino Fraternity Incorporated, 2008, and I am a yoga teacher, sound healer. I've been practicing with sound since 2018. I've been using metal Tibetan singing bowls, and using them as an administer for healing in the body itself. So going back to what you were explaining about the elements and using our natural resources to heal, one of the biggest tools we can use and we've been using from the old sages of time has been sound and the purity of tone and listening to it and allowing it to kind of lead us towards the answer, or just shake off any disturbances that we might have on our skin that we're carrying, which is blocking us from the answers. So
Mm-hmm.
I've been doing with sound, like I said, since about 2018, and it's literally just overtaken my whole practice. It's literally been able to have me connect with people that I never thought I'd connect with, and people to experience something they never thought they can experience. And what I love is the approachness of it. It's literal pure sound, and if you can sit still and listen to it, you will hear more things than you know. A lot of those things come back to, again, what you've been carrying, what you've been following for, what you've been struggling with. And it allows you to kind of allow that stuff to rest off so that you can make room for the blessings that you are requesting. A lot of stuff is sometimes held up in delivery before we can receive it. And a lot of it, we just need to be balanced. We're too far left, we're too far right, we're too close, we're too far back. We need to be centered. That's when we're most powerful. That's when we can actually attract the healing. That's when we can start, the body can process and do the things it does, but it has to be balanced first. They call it alignment. And,
Yes.
this ease is literally just your body not at ease, be it too high or too low. Neither one is good for you. And a lot of these feelings, it teaches us that, they're passing. So we try to hang on to a feeling and don't know. And then that's what ends up slowing us up. So sound is a great tool for letting us reset and, re-knowledge what's important, what we need, what we have, and what we're working with, so that we can identify it and then use it. So sound has really been able to really open up avenues, and I've been loving it. I've been incorporating it to my yoga practice, and I'm excited to share it, here with us. And now that we're pushed into this new way of life, sharing it digitally, because now it's a number one request, all this healing and modalities, and it only works together. So you have people with essential oils, you have the sound healing, you have the ears, you have the smells. In light of our absence of touch, which is very powerful right now. So all healing modalities are enhanced and increased at the moment.
Yes, especially if it deals with the elements and our senses, because that's really how We heal our bodies. And so I'm, thank you for the work that you do. And, it sounds like you feel like you've been called upon to do this type of work, especially now more than ever, whether digitally, virtually, or not. So I want to talk a little bit about our workshop that we have upcoming because I'm
Yes,
very
yes.
excited about that. So, for those of you who don't know, I am a sister of Mu Sigma Upsilon Sorority Incorporated, spring 2009. And John and I, that's how we met. He's my fraternity brother, and
Yep.
we live on opposite sides of the country. So I'm based out of Philadelphia area in Pennsylvania, and he's in California. You said San Diego, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, I love San Diego. So we are kind of going to join forces, and we're going to offer a healing workshop, which includes yoga and sound healing for the Upsilon family, but it is open to anyone and everyone. And so we will be doing that via Zoom.
Yeah.
And so that is going to take place this Sunday on the 26th, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time or 4 p.m.
Pacific.
and Pacific Time, correct. And so you can sign up for that. Actually, there's not a sign up at this moment, but if you're interested, shoot me a message, or you can log into my Instagram, or John, what's your Instagram handle?
Yeah. Instagram, it's John.Victorious, and all that is up there. You'll see the flyer for Sunday's event. But yeah, we're doing a healing workshop, and it's going to be great. There's going to be yoga, it's going to be sound healing, all distance. It's going to be practices that we can do to keep us, in balance.
Yeah, and especially, during these times, we're doing it in support of, one of our fraternity brothers and sorority sisters who have been impacted by coronavirus and COVID-19. So we want to send them healing, prayers, light, and love during this time. And I know that you've personally have some interaction with one of our fraternity brothers. So
That's
this
been
is
impacted. Yeah.
this is a little bit more sentimental for you. So, tell us a little bit about what your intentions are, how you want to lead this, so we can
Yeah.
kind of prep people, whoever is listening and now who wants to tune into our workshop on Sunday, kind of prep them for, what to expect as far as setting intention goes.
Yeah, so for setting the intention, I mean, it's similar to, just having a, focused thought on someone and allowing that to kind of be the root of your practice. A lot of times we get caught up in, it's tough for us to, wake up. It's tough for us to, do the practice or to continue with it. Or some days you're just not in the mood for it. And one of the ways to get over that is to really, setting your intention on something other than yourself. So, do it, in the name of a friend, or a family member who might be, you know, in a ill time, or, a pet or a parent. But, setting it for some reason, setting the intention outside of ourselves gives us the energy, that we probably didn't have. And we're using that for Sunday, for our brother, in the Upsilon family. And just with, so many impacts of this virus itself, this one hits home because it's our, organization, it's our family. Victor Sadamblinga, someone I've known actually since I've crossed, someone I have heavy interaction with. So when it comes to intention, I'm able to, literally remember his, whole style. I remember the way he's, looked me up during my process, after my process. And even now, as he's going through, as we're all going through a process, allowing us to come together and have one focal point makes it that much more powerful. So with Sunday, we're going to be setting a collective intention, everyone together, and then allowing us to move in the name of our fellow who's been impacted by the virus, and then using that as healing and sending it all in that direction.
Yeah, definitely for the family, we want to send them strength as,
Yes.
the
Yeah.
sorority sister who is impacted is also his biological sister.
Right.
So we want to just send support for the family, and this is our way of giving back. So, John, I want you to give us a little sneak peek. I'm going to give you the rest of the show right now. You've got about 3 to 5 minutes to really showcase your art and your healing practice, and I'm excited because I'm gonna sit and I'm gonna really meditate on this. So you go
Okay.
ahead and give us a little sneak peek.
Okay, yeah, a little sneak peek, that's fine. While you are getting set, in a space to absorb this, as you are listening, wherever you are, just look around in your space, know where you're at, know that you're safe, and safe enough to close the eyes. So with the eyes closed, you're able to allow your ears to kind of take over, and I will give you a sample of sound that we will be getting on for Sunday's workshop and in more offerings as we go forward. Allow yourself to take a few breaths on your own, and I will play from the bottom note up. And as you hear the sound, just take a few deep breaths and a few deep exhales. I want you to feel the temperature of your space without looking at your phone. I want you to take the best guess at what time it is. Without looking at the calendar, you know what day it is. It's Earth Day. Mentally say to yourself, it's Earth Day. And just breathe along with the earth today. Begin to move the face. Relax the jaw. Remember, there are nerve endings in the teeth, so unclench the jaw. Keep the tongue still. Just notice the sound as it fades away. Notice the speed of your breath, the weight of your eyelids. Just notice. Feel the whole body relax. Feel this temperature. Take a snapshot of this moment with your skin. allowing the sound to fade and empty. Take your last inhale all the way up, and the exhale all the way out, and just reset back to center. You've just basked under 432 hertz sound waves, which is the miracle tone of nature.
Wow, thank you. I feel so refreshed.
It works very fast. Sound, like I said, sound is a tool, so it doesn't take us long. Another thing about sound, it's one of those purities. One of the only things that allows the whole brain to light up at the same time is music. So with sound bowls, it's the whole brain is lighting up. It's like a fireworks show, and you know, each piece of the whole body begins to respond, and every cell begins to obey. And when every cell is moving at the same speed, the same page, that's when we become very, very powerful. So
It,
your intention is clear now. Your intention is clear now, your space. So now what you want to do, anything you do after this is only enhanced.
wow, thank you. It reminds me of when we do alms, and I always start practice in yoga with a alm, and I say this is a sound
Exactly.
of unity.
Thank
Join in
you.
on the sound of unity, but at the same time, it does so much internally for the body. That
Yes.
internal vibration is so helpful for you physically and emotionally. So I definitely love that. You guys need to check out John Ortiz. Follow him on Instagram,
Yes.
John.victorious. I know he has some meditations that he's been working on as well, so check those out.
Yeah.
And
Well, up there, they have them, sound and meditation and the snippets of this itself. So I love what you said about the Om, and you're absolutely correct. We do have a singing bowl. It's in our belly. So that voice box, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Same principle.
awesome. So check out sound healing if you've never had it before. Definitely tune in on Sunday, and get that experience, so that you can vibe with us, yoga and sound healing. And be sure to like, subscribe, and share. Leave a review for the I Am Healing podcast. I want to hear from you, so if you want to talk more about these topics, email me ilmhealingsolutions@gmail.com, and visit the website www.ilmhealingsolutions.com. Thank you again, John.
Thank you, Iris. This was amazing. Thank you all listeners. Gravity, you tap into this. I hope this reaches you. I hope you're in a space where you're able to, start to peel off those layers or at least identify them so that, we can move forward and, use them to our advantage. That's all about this time is about using it to our advantage. And, you know, this is great. I love how you're, spearheading with this podcast and spreading this healing. And Sunday, we're going to do great things. And we're going to do even more great things going forward. So I'm excited.
Yes, excited for future collaborations for
Yeah.
sure.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, you guys take care. Thanks for tuning in.
Thank
And as
you, guys.
always, happy healing.
Happy healing.